What if I told you one wrong transmission service could instantly turn a drivable car into a $4,000 repair? And what if I told you millions of drivers are warned never to flush an old transmission? But that warning is only half true. Here's the fear everyone has. If you flush a high-mileage transmission, it'll fail immediately. Yet every year, thousands of 200,000-mile transmissions are flushed and survive. So who's right? The mechanics who say, never touch it, or the ones quietly servicing them with no drama? Stay until the end, because we'll reveal the exact condition where a transmission flush is deadly, and the condition where it can actually extend its life. By the end of this video, you'll know why high-mileage transmissions fail after a flush, why the fluid wasn't actually holding it together, the one mistake shops make that kills old transmissions, and whether flushing at 200,000 miles is reckless or misunderstood. We didn't theorize this. We tested it. Same transmission, 200,000 miles. Real driving history. Why transmission flushes are so feared. Ask 10 drivers about transmission flushes, and you'll hear this instantly. Never flush an old transmission. It'll die. That belief didn't come from nowhere. Over the years, many high-mileage transmissions failed shortly after a flush. And humans do what we always do. We link cause and effect. Flush to failure to never flush again. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Correlation is not causation. The transmission was already dying, and the flush just exposed the problem faster. What transmission fluid actually does? To understand this, you need to know what fluid does. Simply, transmission fluid lubricates gears, applies. Hydraulic pressure controls, clutch engagement carries heat away. Over time, that fluid oxidizes, thins, fills with clutch. Material loses detergent strength. At 200,000 miles, that fluid is no longer protective. It's compromised. Most people believe old dirty fluid helps worn clutches grip. It sounds logical. It's also dangerous. Yes, worn clutches may temporarily feel less slip with dirty fluid, but that doesn't mean they're healthy. That's like saying, thick sludge is helping my engine build oil pressure. It's not help, it's a mask, and masks eventually come off. The Section 1, what really kills transmissions during flushes. Here's where things get serious. High-mileage transmissions don't die because fluid is changed. They die because of how it's changed. The most common killers: high-pressure power flushing aggressive detergents, flushing debris into valve bodies, never checking clutch debris levels first. That's not maintenance, that's shock therapy. The test vehicle. Here's what we tested. Automatic transmission, 200,000 miles. Original transmission, mixed city plus highway driving. No previous flush history, symptoms before service. Delayed shifts, when cold, slight hesitation between gears, no slipping, no hard faults, fluid dark but not burnt. This is important because condition matters more than mileage. Why mileage alone is a terrible metric. Here's a truth mechanics rarely say out loud. A neglected 90,000-mile transmission can be worse than a well-maintained 200,000-mile one. What matters more? Heat history, fluid smell shift, behavior, debris load. Mileage is just a number. Condition tells the real story. The $4,000 fear factor. Why are people terrified of flushing? Because transmission repairs are brutal. Valve body repair, $1,200 to $2,000. Rebuild, $3,500 to $5,000. Replacement, $4,000 to $6,000. So when something fails after a flush, the service gets blamed. Sometimes unfairly, sometimes correctly. And that distinction is everything. Section 2, the one question most shops never ask. Before touching fluid, there's a question that decides everything. Is the transmission already slipping? If the answer is yes, a flush won't save it, a drain won't save it. It's already on borrowed time. If the answer is no, the transmission still has hydraulic integrity. Fluid quality actually matters. Service may help, or at least not harm. This single question separates safe maintenance from financial disaster. We didn't use high pressure, use aggressive solvents, rush the process. We followed a conservative, staged approach used by longtime transmission specialists, and that decision changed everything. Before a single drop of fluid was removed, we did what most shops skip. We tested the transmission behavior first. Not with a scan tool, not with guesses, with simple, real-world checks. Here's what we looked for. Does it slip under light throttle? Does it flare between gears? Does it slam into gear when hot? Does it hesitate when shifting from park to drive? Why this matters: if a transmission is already slipping, new fluid doesn't cause failure. It just removes the illusion that things were okay. In our case, no slipping, no flare, no hard bangs, just slow, lazy shifts that told us something important. The clutches weren't dead. The hydraulics were tired, but intact. That's the difference between serviceable and do not touch. Section 3. What the old fluid really looked like. Now let's talk about the fluid, because this is where fear lives. When the first fluid came out, it was dark brown, opaque, smelled used, but not burnt. No glitter, no metal flakes, no burnt clutch smell. This matters more than color. Most people panic when fluid isn't red anymore. That's a misconception. According to multiple OEM service bulletins, fluid color alone does not indicate failure. Burnt smell plus debris does, and we didn't see that. The big mistake shops make here. Here's where many shops destroy transmissions. They see dark fluid and think, let's flush everything out at once. That's like power washing plaque out of an artery. What happens? Debris gets dislodged too fast. Particles move into valve body passages. Solenoids stick. Shift timing goes crazy. Then the customer hears, it was fine until you flushed it. But the damage wasn't the fluid change. It was the shock. Section 4. The method we used. Instead of a high-pressure flush, we used a controlled exchange. Here's what that means. Simply, no pressure spikes, no reverse flow blasting, no chemical shock. We replaced fluid gradually, allowing debris to suspend, naturally seals to rehydrate slowly, clutch engagement to adapt. This is how transmission specialists service high-mileage units quietly, without drama. And yes, it costs more in time, but it avoids a $4,000 mistake. The moment of truth, first drive. After the service, we did not celebrate. We did not say success yet, because here's another misconception. If it drives fine immediately, you're safe. Wrong. Failures often show up after heat cycles, after full warm-up, after real load. So we drove it cold, warm, stop and go, highway. And here's what happened. Section 5. What changed and what didn't? Let's be honest. Miracles didn't happen, but improvements did. What improved? Shifts became more consistent. Cold hesitation, reduced gear changes felt cleaner. What did not happen? No slipping, no harsh engagement, no warning lights. That alone tells us something powerful. The transmission didn't depend on dirty fluid to survive. It depended on stable pressure and temperature. Why this didn't kill the transmission? Here's the real reason this worked. We didn't restore it to new. We restored it to functional. Old transmissions don't need perfection. They need predictable pressure, controlled friction, heat management. Fresh fluid does that, if introduced correctly. Section 6. The cost breakdown. Let's talk money, because that's what this fear is really about. Some cost of our service. Fluid plus labor. approximately $280 to $350. Cost if it failed. Valve body repair, $1,500. Full rebuild, $4,000 plus. Now here's the important psychological part. Most people avoid servicing transmissions because, what if it fails? But if it's already failing, doing nothing doesn't save you money. It just delays the bill. When a flush is actually a bad idea. Let's be clear, flushing is not always smart. Do not flush if the transmission slips under light, throttle shifts flare between gears, fluid smells burnt, you already have shift-related fault codes. In those cases, new fluid exposes where clutch material is already gone. Failure is inevitable. That's not flushing's fault. That's reality catching up. Then here's why you hear completely opposite advice online. Some people flushed dying transmissions. They failed. Others serviced healthy but old transmissions. They survived. Both groups are telling the truth, but context is missing. Mileage doesn't decide outcome. Condition does. Section 7. The simple decision rule. Most drivers never hear. Forget mileage. Forget internet arguments. Forget fear. Here's the rule experienced transmission specialists quietly use. A transmission is serviceable if it still shifts predictably. That means no slipping under light throttle, no flare between gears, no violent engagement when hot. If it still behaves consistently, it is not being held together by dirty fluid. Dirty fluid does not create friction. It only masks pressure problems. Most people believe if the manufacturer says lifetime fluid, touching it will kill it. Sounds reasonable. It's also misleading. Lifetime does not mean engine lifetime. It means warranty lifetime. OEM documents make this clear. Lifetime equals reduced service costs on paper. Lifetime equals fewer scheduled services during warranty lifetime does not equal forever. Transmission fluid still. Shears oxidizes, loses friction, modifiers overheats. Ignoring it does not protect the transmission. It accelerates wear quietly. Section 8. What actually kills transmissions? It's not new fluid. According to teardown reports and OEM failure analysis, the real killers are overheating degraded fluid can't manage heat seals, hardened clutch material burns, pressure, instability worn fluid can't maintain hydraulic pressure, shifts become inconsistent solenoids compensate until they can't, delayed service waiting until slipping starts, then blaming new fluid for revealing damage. New fluid doesn't kill transmissions. Delayed decisions do. This is where most advice falls apart. There are two very different things people call a flush. Type 1. High pressure power flush. Risky. Forces fluid backward, dislodges debris, aggressively shocks seals and solenoids. This is what kills transmissions. Type 2. Controlled fluid exchange. Safe. Gradual replacement, no pressure spikes, no chemical shock. This is what we used. Same word. Very different outcomes. The Section 9. Why some transmissions fail after a flush. Let's be brutally honest. Those transmissions were already dying. The old fluid was thick masked pressure loss, delayed symptoms. Fresh fluid restored correct viscosity, removed the illusion failure wasn't caused. It was revealed. That distinction matters. What we learned after 3,000 more miles. This is the part most videos skip. After the flush, we didn't stop driving. We monitored behavior over time. After several thousand miles, shifts stayed consistent. No new symptoms appeared. Fluid color stabilized. That tells us the internals were worn, but stable. Exactly the kind of transmission that benefits from maintenance, not neglect. Section 10. What you should do if you're at 150,000, 200,000, or more. Here's the honest checklist. You should consider a controlled service if Transmission still shifts predictably. No slipping, no burnt smell, no warning codes. You should not flush. If it already slips, it bangs into gear violently. Fluid smells burnt. You're already shopping for a rebuild. In that case, save the money. The cost truth. No one likes to say out loud. Let's compare outcomes. Doing nothing. Transmission overheats. Silently wear, accelerates, rebuild comes suddenly. Cost $3,500 to $6,000. Controlled service $250 to $400 may extend life years, may buy time even if failure eventually comes. That's not gambling. That's risk management. Section 11. The 2 mistakes that actually wreck transmissions. These are the habits killing more transmissions than fluid changes ever did. Mistake number 1, never servicing the fluid drivers. Wait until symptoms appear. By then, damage is permanent. Mistake number 2, shock servicing a neglected unit high pressure. Wrong method, wrong time. Both are avoidable. The real takeaway. A 200,000-mile transmission is not fragile glass. It is a worn hydraulic system that needs stable pressure, clean, predictable fluid-controlled maintenance. Fear-based advice keeps drivers poor. Context-based advice keeps cars alive. What's your transmission doing right now? Shifting smoothly, hesitating, slipping? Drop it in the comments. Your answer tells you whether maintenance can still help, or whether it's time to plan ahead instead of being surprised. If this saved you from a bad decision, hit like. And if you want to know the one driving habit that overheats transmissions silently, watch the next video. Because most failures don't start in the shop. They start behind the wheel.